is Thomas reporting for AV News. Thank you for joining us today as we're here at the World Hydrogen Expo. My guest is Ms. Ivana Jemelkova, the CEO of the Hydrogen Council.
Great
Welcome.
to be here. Thank you so much.
Could you introduce yourself a little bit and tell us about your organization?
Absolutely. First of all, it's a great pleasure to be here with you at the World Hydrogen Expo. The Hydrogen Council is the world's largest and only business alliance led by chief executive officers. So we bring together some of the greatest leaders and builders in hydrogen from 20 different countries around the world. And it's been our great pleasure to be here in Seoul with our Global CEO Summit, that annual event that brings together the top of the movers and shakers in hydrogen.
Okay. Yeah, it sounds, I've already talked to quite a few of them. So I understand you just finished your speech, so can you tell us a little bit about the contents of your speech this year?
Absolutely. Look, there's a lot of noise in hydrogen right now. Open the newspapers and you get the full menu of projects moving forward, but projects not moving forward at the same time. So we are here to really bring clarity into the conversation. And I shared numbers from our annual hydrogen progress tracker, and those are extremely clear. 10x is the key one. Capital commitments in hydrogen have grown 10 times in just the last 5 years. And the industry has now surpassed 110 billion in committed capital. So that's a phenomenal news. At the same time, we're experiencing that natural filtration of the pipeline whereby strong projects are moving forward and others are abandoned because they have perhaps not been viable from the start. So navigating that with clarity is absolutely critical, and the CEOs who came together over the last 3 years could not be clearer. This is a really exciting and pivotal moment in hydrogen, and we need to continue that growth trajectory.
Well, obviously, as you mentioned, this is a developing industry.
That's right.
And as I've talked to people, I've noticed there's a lot of excitement about the future of the industry, and also, as you mentioned, some uncertainty about where it might lead. Right. So what's your take on that? How do you see the next few years maybe developing for the hydrogen industry?
Look, it's all about building on that strong foundation. 510 projects have now passed final investment decision, moved into construction or in operation. So hydrogen is happening, and we really see that in reality every day. It's steel in the ground, right? Shovels in the ground. The industry is building. But there are challenges, and we need to address them head on. The number one being demand. Although we have seen good progress, we really need to firm this up, and this is where government action comes into play. So having that clear, pragmatic, ambitious policy that really drives the industry forward is fundamental. And also on the industry side, we need to do our homework. We need to make sure that the ecosystem across the value chain really collaborates, comes together to open up this market. So the message from our CEOs could not be clearer. The theme of our event was lead, build, deliver. And this is where we want to walk the talk and show that we can make hydrogen happen.
Well, that sounds great. And I know, of course, our viewers are Korean, so there are a lot of Korean companies or maybe Korean policymakers who might be watching this and wondering, where do they play a part in that growth and development that you're talking about? So
we were incredibly fortunate to welcome to our summit some of the key Korean leaders as well, whether it's the CEOs of Lotte, SK, Iljin, Doosan, Kolon, and obviously Hyundai Motor Group, which serves as a co-chair of our organization, co-chair of the Hydrogen Council. So we had the enormous privilege to have Jay Chang, Vice Chair of Hyundai Motor Group with us. And we were very impressed by what's happening in Korea, because the close collaboration between government and industry could not be clearer. And we were very inspired by that. Also hearing the words of Minister Kim, who was so kind to make himself available for us. And really good dialogue. And I think there's a lot to be looking forward to here in Korea, and really bring that inspiration and the lessons with us as we travel back home to our various countries from this summit.
All right, well, that sounds great. I can definitely feel your enthusiasm, and from everyone that I've talked to, actually, the same enthusiasm is
the energy
present.
is brilliant, isn't it? You walk through the expo and you see how people are channeling their skills, their know-how, their IP into what the future holds. So we're really energized, we're really pumped up and ready to go.
Well, that sounds great. Thank you for being here and sharing your insights with us.
Thank you so much. Such a pleasure. Thank you.